For well over 2,000 years, people from all around the world, from different times and different cultures, are reported witnessing and experiencing events which defy all logical explanation. Today, we've broadly come to use the term paranormal to refer to these inexplicable incidents, and in this episode we'll be taking a look at some of the most intriguing moments we've recorded on camera in recent years. So sit back, relax, pour yourself a glass and join us as we return to the shadows to bring you some of the most compelling paranormal footage taken from our very own investigation files. Our first stop is in Cornwall at an old coaching inn, which during the 17th and 18th century was frequented by many a smuggler and highwayman. Today, the Jamaica Inn continues to serve weary travellers as they make their way across Bodmin Moor, just as it has done for many hundreds of years. Many people who have stayed overnight at the inn, however, claim to have encountered some of its former guests, who for whatever reason even today, refuse to leave.
I freak now. Why was I moved to?
Lauren.
What's happened?
The door just opened behind Lauren.
You're joking?
No.
Look.
You didn't touch it?
No. It literally just
Wait a second.
opened.
Your arm, back of your arms are freezing cold as well.
That's probably from the
Does that door, like,
Will
will that swing if it's just open a bit?
Right, so if it's shut properly,
There's no way that's...
but if it's pulled,
It wasn't pulled too because I've been
No,
stood
'cause
there
it just
for
opened.
ages.
It was shut.
That was shut proper.
That was definitely shut, I'm sure.
Oh, and it was sat shut like that the entire
but the
time.
handle would have had to have been pulled down.
Hang on.
Did it make that noise?
It made that noise.
There was definitely a click.
Yeah.
A click like that.
Yeah.
And then it literally just
Swung
like
open.
that. What, like that?
Yeah.
Yes. At a reasonable speed.
There was definitely the sound of it.
See?
That was
the door, that
That
was
was
the
the sound
latch.
of the door opening.
Yeah.
That's
That's
the
the sound
latch.
of that door opening.
It's that.
Yeah, that's the sound.
You hear the handle come back up.
Why was I moved to? Why was I moved to?
The room that we got the main things happen at, or what one of the main things happened, being in that bedroom where the door opened, that was completely unexplainable as far as trying to debunk that goes. Couldn't figure out how it could have happened aside from something making that happen. It wasn't like there was a draft through the area. The door itself, when we tried to like keep it on a latch, it would only open so far. The door was definitely closed at the start. You look back on the footage, you hear the door handle move. We're all accounted for in when that happened, standing near the bed especially. We weren't even near the door. And then it opened behind Lauren, you hear the door handle go, it opened. No reason for it.
When we were sat round as a big group at the end, the guy whose room that was said that while he was in the shower, the door opened on its own and set the smoke alarm off. So I definitely think that whether it be paranormal or whether it be a dodgy latch, there is something to do with that door.
It was at the Jamaica Inn that we also experienced a strange event that unfortunately didn't make it into the final cut of the episode. While sitting around a large table conducting a séance, we heard the sound of a chair move in the lower dining hall.
Speak to us, please. Can you tell us about your life here?
In the empty restaurant section, all doing like a seancing around the table, then in the further away, still visible to us, but further away in the restaurant, just hear a chair slide across the floor.
There was no one else down there, and it was bizarre.
No reason for it, literally no one in that entire section apart from us. Just wish we could have picked it up a bit better, a bit clearer.
The Elizabethan House in Great Yarmouth was the site of one of our investigations in the spring of 2023. Visitors to the house, which has today been converted into a museum, have reported feeling cold spots spontaneously appearing around the building, hearing footsteps making their way through empty rooms, and even sightings of people dressed in period clothing. Whilst upstairs in what's known as the conspiracy room, we'd been calling out for some time, trying to elicit some kind of a response from any of the resident ghosts, when all of a sudden, and much to our surprise, a mysterious shadow appeared under the door.
See the shadow?
What is it?
I don't know. It's literally moving underneath the door.
Is it moving now?
Yeah.
What it is?
Is it out there now?
That's so weird. Yeah, it's like something. It's like something just formed in the middle of the door.
Still there?
Oh! Open the door. Open
You
the
see
door.
it? You see it? You see it? Yeah. Oh my god, jeez.
What is,
There's nothing there.
What is that?
what is that?
There's no one here, nothing here.
Under the door was lit, as if someone was standing outside the door pacing backwards and forwards. So the light would be dipping out as the feet were going across, and then a couple seconds later they would either be going back or going the same way across again.
So initially, I thought it was one of the other guys from Paranormal Torch, like perhaps walking past, but it's exactly the way James explained it. It just looked like somebody walking past.
I mean, the only thing I can think to debunk what that might have been is, because that was a windy night, there was a bit of a draft where the door could have been moving just enough to block out certain sections on underneath the door frame, but then the fact that they were going in like sequence going across like someone walking, that wouldn't make sense as to how that would and going back the other way as well, wouldn't make sense if that was the door even working on like the angle of it across the bottom.
But the whole place itself gave off such intense feelings, and I think there's a lot of history with it, the building constantly being changed and, you know, bits taken down and then rebuilt and all of that, and I think that often plays a part with like paranormal experiences.
Whenever we think of a haunting, certain things spring to mind. Objects moving by themselves, sightings of strange looking people, almost as if they've walked from a different time period, maybe even hearing voices coming from empty spaces. Something that's not always associated with a haunting, however, are scents or smells, something that many people, including ourselves, have experienced before, and this next clip documents one such occasion whilst investigating an asylum in Lincolnshire with Jamie of Paranormal Torch.
It's not like plasticky. You know, if you put your head, so if you put your face into a balloon,
Yeah.
that smell. It's not there all the time, is it? No?
I can't smell it. It's not like the sort of smell of like gloves, is it?
Yeah.
Like medical gloves.
Yeah. Very nice. That could be it. But I can't see anything else on the floor. Maybe. Are you trying to smuggle me?
My nose is running so much I can't smell anything.
Yeah. You're cold.
No, just I am cold.
No.
Did you just touch me?
I'm aware of it.
No, but seriously.
No.
Are you okay?
No.
What touched you? Whereabouts?
Oh my, like here, around my shoulder blades, it's like something elbowed me.
This is an area of interest, but I looks at it.
There's nothing around, nothing
there's no
hanging.
cobwebs. No, I just literally turned around. You're about, what, 2 metres from me? I'm not going to lift my foot up and
Is there someone here? Did you touch Sophie? Yeah, no, there's nothing hanging around or anything. Hello? Is there somebody here?
Oh, it's like BO.
Oh yeah.
Have you done it as well?
Yeah, I was a big smell of like BO.
I'm very sorry, but
That's pungent.
what's that noise? What's that noise?
It's like someone walking about up there.
Is it? Hello? Is that someone stuck?
Let's go up.
You told Chad. I've had to have my phone off. I've only got 12% battery.
Strange smells have often been associated with hauntings, with scents of old perfumes or cologne. We wondered if the slightly medical scent, followed by the strong body odour, could be tied to a former member of staff or possibly a patient. What is fascinating here though is the quick succession of events. First, Jamie smelling what he believed to be rubber or latex, maybe old medical gloves, followed by Sophie being touched on the back. We then all smelt the strong smell of body odour, ending with unexplained sounds moving upstairs. It's almost like whoever we had encountered remained in the corridor with us for a while before going upstairs and vanishing.
Following the Second World War, the English countryside was littered with the remnants of RAF bases, some of which continue to be used, with others being torn up, the land reverting back to agriculture. Some, however, met neither fate and was simply left abandoned for nature to reclaim. One such place is RAF Matching in Essex, where one of our viewers had visited and came away having a very haunting experience. In order to follow up on this report, we visited for ourselves in the summer of 2023 and were shocked at what we uncovered.
Well, use our energy and do something to show us that we're in this building with us. What?
Fuck, someone just poked his head on the corner.
Something what?
On that bottom left door.
Yeah. What happened? What happened?
Somebody just poked his head round the bottom left corner.
Poked his head round?
What do you mean by poked his head?
Poked his head round.
So that's where I saw something earlier on.
In where?
The same bit. Oh, I don't even want to look there now, it's freaking me out. That's the exact same bit I saw when I was here. Something came around that bit of the door. When I thought it was you, it was alright. There's just a bush there, isn't there?
There's nothing.
There's no way, like, look, there's...
What did you see? It was like a head.
Just a head. A human head.
A human head.
A human head.
At the bottom of the door.
On the... Oh, right. Like here.
Like they was crouched down or
Yeah.
crawling.
Just quickly poked its head round and I can't do it. Oh.
This is like next level.
This place is freaking me out.
I wish we just could record it.
Yeah.
I whipped the camera around.
All of a sudden I just got really big wave as something hit me.
I was pointing at the thing on the chair, but I was looking out there.
Yeah.
And as soon as I saw it, I whipped the camera.
Well, Sophie, when I saw something, I was here.
Exact same place.
And I saw something there.
Exact same place.
Spot.
Did you see any features of it?
Was it shed silhouette?
Just black human head shaped silhouette. Quickly whipped round her back again.
See, there's not really anything you could even mistake that for.
No, there's if it's one thing to say there's a shape that's moved, but like to see a silhouette of a head is like.
But there was no hair, no hat.
No.
It was just a head.
Yeah, so I mean, but it's like if it was like just a shape, but it's such a weird position on the door though, because it's.
You know what I just said about there being no hair and no hat?
Yeah.
They shave their heads in the army, didn't they?
Yeah, but why do we put... Well, I guess, like I was saying earlier, if they're doing like training exercises,
training
they'd
stuff.
be checking to see rumours and stuff. What?
There was something there.
What?
There was just something there.
Where?
At that doorway.
Should we get out?
I can't see anything at the moment.
That place entirely freaked me out. I still picture things and it puts me on edge all the time thinking about it, because we all had something happen.
I mean, even in the day earlier on, before we sort of headed off for the break, that was the point at that door there where I thought I saw someone as well. It just so happened to be exactly at the point where Sophie saw the head come around the corner, and the same point where there was the noise of someone walking or running towards you from the door, and it all happened in that doorway.
I think because it is a doorway, it's the busiest point in a location. People are constantly in and out, animals are in and out. There's going to be a lot of energy there. That could be why we experience the most in that doorway.
And I don't know if I've actually told you this before, but the guy who contacted us on Instagram and suggested we go there, do you want to know where he had his experience?
Was it exactly the same point?
The doorway.
Yeah, of that same building.
On the same building.
So what was his experience that he had then?
He said that he just felt really strange there and he had to leave, but he was in that exact spot where we were.
That's mad.
There's something about abandoned buildings that hold a very mysterious and spooky atmosphere. Who used to live or work in these places? What untold stories do they hold, and why were they left abandoned? Our next location is at the Knockton Hall Hospital in Lincolnshire, which since being left abandoned has gained a reputation for being haunted.
The place itself was really, really cool, and the fact that it was such a sprawling location that we only saw about half of, I think, and the big house on site we didn't even see at all.
If I could have split myself into 3 and seen it all, it would have been incredible, because it is such a huge place and there is so much history there.
Less than half an hour into our investigation, the locked-off camera we'd placed in the maternity ward picked up this extremely clear male voice.
Like, that sounds like an actual person talking, as if there's someone outside off the camera. But we were there the whole time. There was no one else on that entire site. At the end of that investigation, where me and Luke went off to go and pick up all the equipment that was around the hospital, the atmosphere and the feeling of the place really came into its own. And that is when we also started having more activity start to happen.
Is there anyone in here with us? Any technicians? Any staff operating here?
Let's grab some stuff.
Got static on there, I think. What did you just say?
I didn't say anything, but something moved behind me.
I thought you just went like that.
No, I didn't say anything, but something just moved behind me. Just after you said that, something just like shuffling in footsteps. One of the locked-off cameras we had in the X-ray room was positioned on an EMF meter, and at the exact time James heard the breath, we recorded a spike.
Got static on there, I think.
Now, although this is an extremely small spike, we are sure that it's in some way linked to the unexplained breath sound, and in the previous 4 hours of recording, the meter remained firmly at 0.
The ancient Ram Inn in Gloucestershire is thought to be one of the most haunted places in the country, with just about every type of supernatural phenomena having been experienced there, from sightings of apparitions to people hearing disembodied voices, and even a number of guests being attacked by an unseen force. We were lucky enough to experience just some of this activity when we visited in 2022.
We began our investigation by setting up a number of cameras and pieces of monitoring equipment around the inn, including a number of REM pods, devices that emit an electromagnetic field around an antenna, and should anything break that field, an alarm will sound. Before I even had chance to leave the witch's room, however, the REM pod positioned in there began detecting something.
What?
That just went off by itself.
And it stopped by itself.
Yeah.
And no car went past?
Let's go and get the camera before we get stuff going this evening. Yeah. About 20 minutes later, unknown to us, the REM pod was triggered once again. Although there is power to the house, which itself emits an electromagnetic field, something that could interfere with the REM pod's own field, we monitored this for the whole night and recorded a steady baseline with no spikes or drops in the readings, meaning it's extremely unlikely that this would be the cause.
As with all the UK's most haunted places we go to, it was a relatively quiet night. That being said, that's one of the few of those particular type of locations where it has been made out to be really, really haunted. There's loads of activity happening. I think we maybe just got it on a dud night.
Actually, I disagree with James on that one. That I think we got a lot more activity than he's realised. You know, there was quite a few voices that we heard. There was a few knocks. There was, I think you'd caught something moving across the camera. But yeah, there was quite a few things there.
It's just the voice again.
Sophie, did you speak then?
I'm not saying that it's not haunted, but I'm saying that we just didn't get anything that night.
Not necessarily being one of the most haunted. I would agree that it is perhaps haunted, but I think because it's got such this renowned fame, that adds to the spooky kind of feelings and pressure, so to speak.
In 2022, to celebrate our 10th anniversary, we decided to revisit a number of sites that had previously given us fantastic results. One such place was the Harwich Fort in Essex, and it was here, on our second investigation, that we had one of our best captures to date.
It was only 30 minutes after recording that a locked-off camera we had stationed in one of the rooms captured our first glimpse of one of the ghosts of the fort. We can tell that this anomaly appeared just outside of the window, as we created a similar effect when walking past earlier on in the recording. Of course, with 3 people walking around an enclosed area with infrared lights and torches that could easily create a shadow, we had to dig deeper and try and explain this. Luckily enough, we'd placed an exterior camera just opposite the room and were able to match up the footage easily by going when we initially left the room. Fast forwards to when the shadow was captured, nothing at all can be seen on the other camera, which makes no sense whatsoever. Despite this, it does rule out us creating the shadow, either by walking past it or with our camera lights and torches.
That's probably actually the most significant piece of evidence we had, especially considering that we're all accounted for on multiple videos, holding the camera, we can see where we are at the time, and then there's just no explanation for who or what that is.
It gives me, you know, black tingles, you know, it gives you that funny feeling. It's just mind-blowing.
A village hall is generally not somewhere that one would associate with a haunting. However, in the little village of Laindon sits a small wooden village hall with an interesting history of strange events dating back over 2 decades.
Before we started our investigation, we set up some equipment inside the hall, including motion sensors positioned in the kitchen area. Before we had chance to even properly set up our night vision cameras, however, one of the sensors was triggered.
What? Motion sensor's just gone off in there.
In where?
What?
Oh shit.
What just happened?
The motion sensor's just gone off.
Sorry, that was a bit aggressive. It was the one on the right. That one.
They both were off, are they?
No, I've just set that one off coming in.
That one now. Where's gone? Wait, come out.
Come over there,
this way. And then look through that window there, because then you'll block the signal from it.
Really got bad crisp in there still. Didn't put the food down. Can tell I don't say no.
There's no, is it the tap tripping?
I would have thought that's enough to set it off. Yeah, they're going out now, we'll see.
Very weird.
We were unable to find any explanation for the motion sensor being triggered, and with hopes of capturing the event again on video, we decided to set up a camera in the kitchen to monitor them further.
Investigating in there was really strange because you're investigating a space that's literally like designed for things to happen in it without having a lot of stuff about already. It's not like investigating a museum, it's like investigating like a warehouse. It's like empty. But at the same time, the few things that were in there and the environment itself did seem to want to deliver some activity for us that night. And it was really weird stuff rather than scary things. And ultimately kind of unexplainable things.
I'm a big believer on it's not just places that are haunted, it could be the land, it could be an object in that building.
The fact that it's right against the graveyard maybe has something to do with activity going on there.
It's the least suspecting haunted place that I think we've ever been to.
Deep underground in Essex lies a Cold War relic that we had the privilege of investigating in 2020, the Kelvin Hatch secret nuclear bunker. Luckily, Britain never came under nuclear attack and therefore the bunker was never used for its intended purpose. Why then has it become known as one of the most haunted places in all of Great Britain?
The activity we did get there was quite significant when it comes to the poltergeist kind of activity where infrared light got thrown and smashed.
No. Wait. Yeah, while we're running.
Where are you going? Come on.
Come on, Sophie.
Come on.
I don't even know, that was just out of shock, Raj.
What is that? That's pretty good. Come on, bring us up. I can't see how else.
Turn the lights on. Turn the lights on.
Hello?
Where's the switch?
Who made that noise?
I think my room.
Where's the lights?
Hello?
Turn the lights on.
The light switch is over there. Get the light. It wasn't that stick.
No.
Was it the light from up there?
Yeah.
It's on the floor. Is that behind us?
Yeah, it was this.
What we had heard turned out to be the sound of one of our infrared lights crashing to the floor, and after reviewing the footage from the locked off camera, we could find no explanation or cause for this.
It gives you such a claustrophobic feeling, like in every single room you feel like, hang on a minute, if I need to run, I've got 4 floors. I've got to do that, and that's not me.
That was one of the only other few times we've had a full body apparition appear on camera with us all being accounted for again.